Hi there, welcome back to Mastering the Young Band. Today I want to talk about my new scale and technique pages that I have in my Essential Foundations warm-ups. I'm very excited about this addition to my latest update to my Essential Foundations. This is in my 3.1 edition. And here's what it is. I just want to take you on a quick tour of the technique pages that I've added for my Essential Foundations. So what you're going to see in the newest edition of this is a concert F major, scales and technique. And you're gonna see I have this in the keys of F, B flat, E flat, A flat. I've also included expansions for the key of C, G, just in case you start playing some grade 4 literature or advanced 3 that's in the non-traditional band keys. What each of these pages has on it is, it has just a lot of technique exercises that you can use. You're not gonna use them all at once. You may not even use some of them. But I included a lot on here to help your band in their technique. So the first is just a traditional 1-octave major scale. For most instruments, you'll see that I did include octaves in there so you can assign different octaves to them. If it's not a real feasible octave for a middle level band, then I left it off and you'll just see the one version of it. Next is a 2-octave major scale, and you'll see for different instruments, it's either they have obviously a 2-octave if it's a feasible range for a middle level student. And then for people that have the 1-octave, what they actually do is they will play up the scale, then they drop down and come back up, just so they can keep playing along with the rest of the instruments. The next thing you'll see on there is a scale pattern, the traditional scale pattern. Da, 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 da. Your regular scale pattern that ascends and then descends in that pattern. Now, some of these, what I recommend you do, you notice I wrote it in quarter notes. For middle level students, I find that learning the quarter notes of those technique exercises is better than it written in eighth notes. So it starts off in quarter notes. Once your students have it pretty well though in quarter notes, then you can start playing it. What I just tell them to play it in double time. So what we'll do is we'll play, for instance, the first measure. We'll go, or first two measures, we'll go da, 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 da. Then we'll go to measures 3 and 4. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So they'll play two measures one time in quarter notes, then they'll play it in eighth notes, and they'll play the entire exercise that way. It's a great way of them starting to work on eighth note technique from their quarter notes. What I have found is with middle level students, just playing this entire thing straight through, it's really the breath. They don't take in enough air because it happens, the exercise goes by so quickly. Just playing the whole thing straight through, they start losing their tone, they start losing just everything because they run out of breath. Do it in chunks like that. If you think about most grade 1, 2, and even 3 music, if they do have something technical, rarely is it longer than 8 notes in a row. I mean, you're not gonna see long lines of 16th notes with middle level bands. So we want to take advantage of that in these kind of exercises, have them play small chunks of fast technique rather than the entire thing at once. Other exercises that you'll see in here, there's a traditional scale in thirds. You'll notice it's written in octaves. This is one that was introduced to me a few years ago, just doing modes for technique. So da, 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 da. Da, 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 just going through the scale modally. And you'll notice, again, it's just in 9-note chunks. They have a nice 2-count breath to breathe so you can reinforce tone. They have a chance to reset. Next, you're gonna see on the technique pages, and sorry, this got out of order here. Here it is. Major scale modes. These ones are pretty advanced, just range-wise, just a warning. But boy, are these fantastic. This is actually my new favorite technique page to pull out with my top band, my third-year players. And again, we play it as written. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And it goes up. As you can see, it doesn't go the entire way up the scale, and then it descends. Same thing as I mentioned with the other scale patterns. We play it as written, and then we start bumping up the tempo, then we go into cut time. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And that really builds their technique that way. And again, these are a little bit rangy, so you have to be careful which keys you pick of this. Wonderful exercise though for building technique, especially with your third year players. Included in this also are chromatic scales. I have a simple 3/4 chromatic scale in quarter notes. It's just one octave, or not one octave. Well, it ascends in one octave, but it's written in multiple octaves. Then there's a 2-octave chromatic, a chromatic written in triplets, and then a 2-octave written in triplets as well. So it's a very expansive technique pages. And these are all in the, again, my Essential Foundations, MikePerezBand.com. There's a link to be able to purchase this. And these new technique pages, I said, I'm very excited about just because it combines a lot of fantastic exercises to help your students with their technique. If you haven't had a chance to check out the new version of my warm-up set, it's online. Again, MikePerezBand.com, and it'll take you to the website where you can purchase this, and you can just get the entire set for your bands. So check it out. Again, technique pages for your second and third year players. I think you'll find them really valuable.